Hello, fellow fragrance lovers, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm continuing a series that I started a little while ago, back in the beginning of my channel, and that is Perfumes of My Past. And I'm going through different phases of my life and talking about the perfumes that I liked back then and seeing if I still like them now. So the one that I had started with was my middle school perfumes, and surprisingly, quite a few of them are still available. And I had asked, which one you'd like to see next. And I did get a request for my high school perfumes, but those are actually really hard to track down. I wore a few things back then that are not available. Some of them I don't even remember the names of, but if I can get it together and try to compile a list and do some research, I'll do a video where I chat about it. So I'm going to jump ahead and go to my 20s. My 20s were a very interesting time, of course, very, very early 20s. I was finishing up college the first time around, getting my bachelor's, and then I eventually went back to get my master's, more toward the middle of my 20s, and then later on in my 20s, I was, a full-grown working teacher and all that good stuff. So I feel like I matured a lot. But one of the most notable things about my 20s was that half of my 20s were spent working in retail, working in a department store. It was actually Strawbridge's department store, if anyone remembers that. We had it here in the northeastern United States. And as much as that job, retail, can definitely suck at times, but I look back at the time with fond memories because when I think about it, I really had like no responsibilities back then, in my 20s, the first half of my 20s working in retail. I actually got the job when I was 19. So it was from the time I was 19 to 25, I worked there. I started out working in the young men's department, and I loved that. I was like selling Levi's and all. I loved helping men shop. That was so fun. But then I went to beauty school and got my degree in aesthetics, and they put me in the clinique counter, and I did that for a couple years. But even when I wasn't working in the beauty department, I spent so much time in the beauty department and racked up quite a credit card bill with my Strawbridge's card because we got a discount, of course. And so on my breaks, I would always shop around the store. It was really bad for a person who loves shopping, such as myself. But when I think 20s, I really do think so much about my times there. And I, of course, worked with some really, really wonderful people there. And we were just like a little family. And of course, we used to like share each other's good, we'd trade samples and gratis and all of that. And I really do miss that aspect of it. So I was, my 20s were really when I was exposed to a lot of fragrances, and I was able to see the launch of a lot of fragrances that are still popular today. And, I would get so excited when like the boxes, when inventory would come in and we'd like unbox everything and put out the new displays. And, we got to be the first people to, smell something new and see what the packaging and the ads were like. And it was just such a fun time. So I'm going to go through, I only have 4 here because, I didn't specifically buy, well, a couple of these things I did just recently buy because I got them for really cheap. But some of the fragrances, I can recall them. I'll tell you about them briefly, but I have 4 here that reflect my 20s, and we're going to see if I still like them. So, by the way, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I am Limelight Lass, and I talk all about perfume on my channel, specifically perfumes that get you noticed, that put you in the limelight, all that good stuff. So if that's your vibe, if that's your jam, make sure you subscribe. So let's get into these fragrances. I'm going to go pretty much in order, and I realized 3 of the 4 of them were from 1999. I guess 1999 was like a big year for fragrances. And of course, we had that whole Y2K thing going on. Everybody thought everything was going to be, well, people either thought that the world was going to like explode, when it turned 2000, or I don't know, everything was just going to be different. So I guess the fragrances were reflecting, a different time. So yeah, before I talk about these, so one of my signatures in my 20s, early 20s, was Tommy Freedom. And I think that actually came out in 99 as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That was a very citrusy, from what I can remember, it was very like citrusy aquatic. And I did a little research on it. It is on Fragrantica, but I don't see it on the gray market or anything. It's pretty much all gone. I'm sure you could get it on eBay or something, but I'm not going to be doing that. But it was very citrusy. And I do remember people giving me compliments on that one all the time. So if you remember Tommy Freedom for her, let me know. It was a really nice, and it had, I think, melon in it. It was like melon and citrusy. I mean, it was nice, but definitely more clean than what I wear now, because obviously what I wear now are very kind of unisex, masculine fragrances, deep fragrances, tobacco, woody, all of that. And I'm also getting into some like more heavy gourmands and a little bit sweeter fragrances now. My tastes are definitely changing. So I don't know if I smelled Tommy Freedom now, if I would like it, but you never know. The other thing, I just can't bring myself to even get this back into my life, just in any capacity, and that is Clinique Happy. I wore Clinique Happy under duress, I would say, because when I worked at the Clinique counter, I don't know how the rules are now, but when I was at the counter, the rule was that you were not allowed to wear any fragrances except Clinique fragrances. And at the time, there were only two. It was Aromatics Elixir, which I love now, but back then it was just like such a bomb. It was so mature and if you know, that is a chypre like no other. I love it now, but not so much back then. So you could wear that or you could wear Happy, which was the newest thing. And it's not like I dislike it, but I just think of working. When I smell it, I think about being at work. And although I just got done saying how much I love being at work, I think of like the negative thing because I was being forced to wear it, and not that it smells bad or anything, but it was just not really my style after a while. And it's just day in and day out, when you have to wear the same perfume every single day, it just wears on you. So that's not really my cup of tea anymore. But I don't know, maybe someday I'll be able to wear it again. Now, of course, we broke the rules. We always ran over to the other counters and started spraying other things on us. And we hoped that our managers wouldn't notice or anything. We were little rebels. So I did. Our bay was right across from Lancome, and it was right when like Miracle had just come out. So that I never even had to buy because my friend hooked me up with samples of that all the time. But I did wear it quite a bit. And again, that's another one I don't think I would necessarily like right now. It's not really my style. But let's get into the other ones that I do have. So I'm taking it back to 1999 again, and I was 22. And this is Victoria's Secret Dream Angels Heavenly. If you remember when that came out, it was a big deal. I remember my college boyfriend, one of my college boyfriends, got it for me for Christmas, and I actually do have really fond memories of it. Now, I got this little roller ball. Now this is like the EDP, so it's not exactly the same as when it first came out, but I mean, it smells pretty much the same. And of course, it's one of their pillar fragrances. The whole, Heavenly pillar fragrance has spawned a lot of flankers, a lot of different incarnations of it, but I love the OG. So it takes me back. Like when I smell this, oh my gosh, when I smell this, it's like I'm in college again. Wow. And it's really not my style right now, but sometimes when I get nostalgic, I'll smell it. So Dream Angels Heavenly was top notes of cardamom, quince, ivy, and mandarin orange. Mid notes are peony, iris, freesia, lotus, and violet. And base notes are musk, vanilla, sandalwood, and orchid. I do really like the dry down of this. That kind of like muskiness. But it's just, It is heavenly. It makes you think of like being in a cloud or something. And you know how Victoria's Secret is. They come out with a new fragrance like every 5 minutes. And a lot of them fall short of this one. I still think this is lovely. Do I wear this now? No. But I still like it. It's still nostalgic for me. I think I don't know, it's like clean and powdery and musky, like a little skin scent vibe-ish. Much softer than what I wear now. Of course, now I'm Limelight Lass and I love to enter a room like with my fragrance, but this, it's like very intimate, good for bedtime. So yeah, I'm going to say Victoria's Secret Heavenly still gets the Limelight Lass 2 thumbs up. Okay, moving along. I was so excited to get this one again because I have such memories of this, like wearing this when I started to like go out. And I was kind of a late bloomer with like going out to clubs and all that stuff. But once I did, I was going out, and I remember wearing this on many of my evenings out. And that is DKNY Women 1999 from 1999. And I am shocked that I was still able to get this. And I was expecting that since, I mean, this has to be like pretty old. I mean, even though it was like in the package and everything, I thought like, it's probably going to smell weird. It's probably going to smell different. Oh my God, no. This smells exactly as I remember it. Now, oh my God, it's exactly the same. This is like, oh my God, the memories I have with this fragrance. So DKNY Women. The notes they have on Fragrantica are top notes of tomato leaf, orange, mandarin orange, and apricot. Mid notes are cassia, water lily, yellow water lily, and yellow narcissus. My favorite color is yellow, so maybe that's why I liked this, because it's got yellow stuff. Jasmine, heliotrope, ylang ylang, orchid, and rose. And then the base notes are birch, suede, sandalwood, patchouli, and amber. First off, this doesn't smell like any other fragrance out there. But here's the thing. It's not listed in these notes. I have no idea why, because it's even listed in like the promotional, like when I looked up the promotional things from DKNY, like itself, the company, it was mentioned. So I don't know why it's not mentioned here. The whole reason, this will give you a good indication of what I was like in this time period. The entire reason that I even got this in the first place is it had this groundbreaking new note, groundbreaking for the time, of vodka. It's supposed to have this chilled vodka note, and I thought I was so cool. I was like, oh, my perfume, it's a new DKNY. It smells like vodka. I don't know what I was thinking, but and you definitely do get it, and you definitely get that tomato leaf. It's so unusual. So again, this is not my style at all anymore. Here, I'm gonna spray a little bit on. And you know what really like pushed me to get this is Gabby from The Fragrantician. Hi, Gabby, if you're watching. I love her so much. But she recently talked about this and was like, oh my God, you can still get it? Yeah, it just doesn't smell like anything else. It's like, it's clean, but it is citrusy. It definitely has that like orangey vodka type of feel to it. But it also has that like patchouli and suede and birch. So it's like green, woody, vodka-y, citrusy, and floral. Like, it's so weird. Like, it is probably one of the strangest fragrances, but in a good way. Unusual, I should say. It's super unusual. So that was DKNY Women. You know, it still gets the Limelight Lass thumbs up, 2 thumbs up for me. Maybe in the summer, like I wouldn't wear this now in the winter. It's like 10 degrees here right now. But I'm thinking I might break this out in spring and summer. And I'm just blown away. I guess it really is a testament to the fact that like if you keep fragrances, you know, in the package, in maybe a cool, dry place. I don't know where this was stored, but that like they haven't produced this, I don't think, in a really long time. Still smells good. So yeah, DKNY Women. Okay, another one from 1999. Now this one is like, I'm a little bit upset about this one because the perfume is Candies. It was the Candies perfume from 1999. It was like yellow and orange. And I am pretty sure I do have my old bottle somewhere. Like it's somewhere in my house, buried probably. And I was so into it because I loved the spokeswomen. I love Carmen Electra. Like I love her. I still love her. And she was one of the spokespeople for this. And Jenny McCarthy also was a spokesperson for it. And I loved those ads. And I totally fell for the hype. And it was just like this citrusy but spicy and a little bit fruity concoction. So on Fragrantica, it has all the notes, and I'll tell you those. So on Fragrantica, the notes for Candies, the original Candies in the yellow and orange bottle, were amber, mandarin orange, peach, lemon, gardenia, lang lang, and jasmine. So when I looked up like where to get it, the only thing I could find is this Candies here, which I thought, and it's in a different bottle. And like, but it wasn't on Fragrantica, so I'm like, I guess they just rebottled it, but it's the same perfume. And it does actually remind me of it. It's just not exactly the same. And then I just noticed on the back of the packaging that it is like a spin-off, like an updated version. And I don't even know when this version came out because I couldn't find it. But this candy says, the iconic Candies fragrance is back and reimagined for today's girl who is empowered, boldly passionate, and confident in all aspects of her being. Inspired by the true boss babe who everyone aspires to be, this iconic fragrance is multidimensional with unexpected layers. Vibrant with pink currant, tart kiwi, lemon, and pineapple pulp, the scent unfolds into a heart that is soft and inviting with a veil of jasmine and pear blossom. Her soul expresses its compassion with a hint of rosebud, but it is her core confidence of vanilla sweetness and bergamot that pushes her forward. Seasoned with life's lessons, this Candies girl remembers yesterday and is ready to conquer today. So these notes really are not the same at all, except that it does have the citrus. Yeah, it has citrus, jasmine, and what else? Yeah, it's just, it's a sweet, yeah, it's kind of like a sweet, really super fruity, ambery fragrance. The original, though, had a little bit more spice to it. Like there was something peppery, and that's what I really liked about it, that this one is lacking. So I don't know. If anyone knows where to get your hands on the original Candies, let me know. Now, this is really nice. It's like a fun, super fruity, youthful fragrance. Like this will be perfect for the summer. I'm not mad about it or anything, but I was expecting it to smell like the old one, and it does not. So, okay, finally, last one. This one was from when I was more in my mid-20s. And when I first started working in education, and I was going back to school to be an English teacher, but in the meantime, I was working as an aide at a high school, like one-on-one and special ed department, classroom aide. And, I got a lot of experience doing that. And I just felt, that's when I first started to feel like I had like a grown-up job. And I think this fragrance kind of reflects it because it's a very sophisticated fragrance. And that is Stella by Stella McCartney. This is from 2003. And I just recently got this, this little roller ball. I remember when this came out, and it was expensive. Like when this first came out, I mean, I don't remember how much like expensive was to me back then, but it's like, it was one of the more expensive fragrances that I had. And I actually did start off with there was like a set of roller balls that I got of this because I couldn't even afford like the full bottle. I had to just get like the little like roller ball set. But I wore the heck out of those. Like, I loved this fragrance so much, and I hadn't smelled it in so many years. And I know it's been like slightly reformulated, but Stella has notes of rose, peony, amber, and mandarin orange. It's a really simple composition, but oh my God, I still love it. And it takes me back to that place so much. Oh, yeah. It's so good. Like, it's rosy, but I smell the peony just as much as the rose. And I do like peony, and some of these other fragrances have peony in them. Right? Yes. Yeah, it's this just beautiful. I seemed to like a lot of orangey things back then too. But it is this beautiful ambery citrus rose peony. I mean, it's a very citrusy floral, but like with something deeper going on. I guess it's the amber. Because I typically don't like just straight up floral fragrances. I have to say, everybody makes such a big deal of Delina. Like, everyone talks about that being kind of like the ultimate rose fragrance. I will take this over Delina any day, and it's like a tenth of the price. Probably even more than a tenth of the price. So, yeah, this still gets the limelight last 2 thumbs up for me. Oh, as does Candies. I don't think I said that. So, yeah, this is one from my 20s that I can, still vibe with. I think it's really nice for springtime. I'm gonna break this out again, wear it, and see where it takes me. Maybe I'll get into those types of fragrances again. So, well, there you have it. There are some fragrances from my 20s that I guess I still like. They're not really my style. I probably won't wear them often, but maybe from time to time when I'm feeling nostalgic, I'll break them out. I definitely had a very different, I gravitated toward, it seems like, really citrusy fragrances back then and kind of fresher fragrances. And now I really don't like make a point of getting fragrances that are in that profile. So yeah, my nose has matured a lot. But let me know in the comments if you have any 20s perfumes, or maybe now you're in your 20s, and let me know what your signature scents are and all of that. And also let me know if you'd like to see, I guess I can make 30s next, or I can try to dig up the high school ones, but let me know what you'd like to see. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all of your support. I really do appreciate it. And of course, I would love to have you join me here in my little community. So please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.